So if you've been watching me for long enough, you know that sometimes I get optimistic about life expectancy. I expect one day that humans will live to be 300 years old, and I'm even thinking about viewing the conjunction of Venus with the Sun in 2117, among other events. There's a transit of Earth from the view of Mars in 2084, which is sooner, but it will require me to travel to Mars. I'm optimistic about seeing both of those events. And the reason for that is that I see too many opportunities for people to improve their lifestyles, and even without doing so, we're already making it past 100 in many cases, right? So I remember when I was in elementary school, we learned that every cigarette reduces your life expectancy by a certain number of minutes. I think nowadays people claim it's half an hour. When I was a kid, it was 5 to 10 minutes, if I remember correctly. There were campaigns asking us what we would do with all that time that we weren't going to lose by smoking. But smoking probably isn't even the most unhealthy habit one typically has, right? Not that many people smoke nowadays, right? What they do is they drink soda, they don't get enough exercise, they eat themselves into an oblivion. They're often very rushed when they're eating. They're stuffing their faces. I've never seen anybody eat mindfully. I rarely do, actually. Even when I go to a place where you would expect to see people much more mindfully eating, like the cafeteria at Whole Foods, like at some other healthy places, or at the restaurant at Desert Botanical Garden, right? Those people should be much more mindful, but even then, they're stuffing their faces, right? Now you gotta understand, that's probably the last place you would see some people stuff their face, and they're doing it. Just imagine how much worse it is at a McDonald's in an inner city neighborhood, right? But you know, that's only the tip of the iceberg. There's all sorts of other unhealthy habits that I haven't even covered here that are much more common than smoking. And it gave me an idea. What if we could wear a monitor on our body that constantly checks on our vital signs or our body chemistry and tells us how much time what our life expectancy is currently based on our current body chemistry, right? So when you're busy stuffing your face, all of a sudden that number could plunge by a certain number of minutes or hours. You know, as you're smoking a cigarette, it will really plunge. As you're mindfully taking a walk here in Scottsdale, that number could shoot up, right? Or if you get a good night's sleep, it will really shoot up, right? I wonder how that might change people's habits. It's kind of like the equivalent of watching, I drive a Kia Forte, and you can watch your gas mileage in real time. I think it should be required that that thing will always show on the dashboard, right? Not just an option you could choose, because it would create a lot more mindfulness about it. I think we would have a whole lot less aggressive driving. Certainly people wouldn't idle their cars in the parking lot if they saw how much gas they were consuming. People are just doing a lot of that stuff mindlessly, right? So if you could wear such a device on you that monitors you and reports your real-time life expectancy, number one, would you want to wear it? And number two, what kind of healthy habits do you think it would instantly change if you were more mindful? What are some unhealthy things that you do, not because you want to hurt yourself or not because you're even getting any entertainment out of it, but just out of habit or being mindless about it?